finals. LGD have a 1-0 lead over Elephant after playing a 55-minute game with Techies, Naga, Viper, and having that Void Spirit as well as the Undying was the winning victory formation for them with those heroes. So it's going to be interesting coming into game 2, how they're going to ban around this. Do they feel forced to having to ban the Techies? I know I asked Mo during the break, but I'll ask him again. Do you think they're going to ban the Techies coming into game 2? And you're shaking your head no, but does that just mean that LGD go back to this Techies? Do they go back to the well that really helped them succeed? And that game, I'm not saying is strictly on the Techies. I don't think that game was strictly on the Techies at all. I think Naga farmed really well. That lane stayed open. There was a lot of movements early on that allowed Naga to just stay in lane and farm very well in the first half of that game. And then I thought Faith Beyond played really well on the Viper. And there's the Techies ban, and that's very important because that's leaving heroes that get first phase ban all the time up and available for LGD to pick up here. And mainly the Lina. I think Rubik's been very popular in the first phase, so we'll see what LGD are going to do now that they're getting the Techies banned in that first phase. And there's that Lina pick in the Undying pick. So despite the Techies ban, same draft so far.
LGD have broken them. That game must have just been soul destroying enough for Elephant to be like, get this Techies out my game.
Yeah.
And this is the worst thing. They have first pick on Elephant, and they still weren't happy to let the Wisp through. I think that's a big problem. Because now you're saying to LGD, we're not confident in first picking the Wisp for ourselves. Mm-hmm. We also don't want you to have Techies. And now so we have to ban these first two heroes that we technically, could maybe not have to. Mm-hmm. They choose to, which is fine. That's just the way it is. But coming into this series, not first picking yourself Wisp because you don't value that hero maybe as much as others, but then also having to first phase ban Techies, your whole game plan has to change. So okay, so the thing I want to talk about LGD is, though, that game is not characteristic about how they've won every other game so far this tournament.
Yeah.
And that's what impresses me most about LGD, is the fact they have so many different approaches to games, and they look good in every single one of them. Sometimes when you see teams watch tournaments, they kind of like change the heroes a little bit, but their overall play style stays very similar. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? I think LGD, they seem to just play something completely different every game and approach the game differently every single time, which is amazing to watch.
Mm-hmm. Expanding on that idea, I think LGD, they play their game. Whether they play it fast or whether they play it slow, it always feels like you're living in LGD's world, and LGD is making the decisions here, whether this game's going to go longer or whether this game's going to be a quick, fast-paced one. And like you said, they play those two different styles. They play right in your face. They'll play pushing power, like I think they might here, as they show the Leshrac in the second pick, or they'll play it a little bit more restrained. They'll play it a little bit more farmy. And despite the fact that game went 55 minutes, that was farmy and fast. Like, there weren't a lot of fights in the middle part of that game, but there was still aggression coming out from LGD. They were still playing very fast and loose, just not fast in the sense of pushing those towers and finishing the game in 25 minutes. I think they were still doing a lot in that game with pacing, and it's crazy. Like, everybody is just in LGD's world right now, and we need to figure out how do we break this, because it's happened in the past. Teams have done it. Teams have beaten LGD. They've had these long strides of victories. So now Elephant, what are they going to show us that's going to be different that can figure out the LGD game? They've banned out the Beastmaster. They banned out the Drought. I love those two bans. I was thinking, the second you pick Leshrac, you think Beastmaster. You think these heroes that can help force that pace and push really quickly. And they banned the Viper, too. Faith Beyond was incredible on that hero in game 1.
This Viper pick is so horrible to deal with. I'm not surprised they're banning it out. Mm-hmm. I think especially if you're playing Ogre 5, like, this Viper just bullies you so hard. And there's not a huge amount you can do as the Ogre, unless you're paired with a position 1 that also has kill potential. But even then, like, fighting into Viper feels awful. That Nether Toxin's such a good ability just to start the wave off. Just shove it in straight under the tower at the beginning of the game. I don't know. I feel like this Leshrac LGD have looked good on at times in the tournament, but I also think when they've picked this Lesh is when they've also lost the games that they have so far. I think if they play this Lesh lineup and they don't get these early engagements that they like to, if the Lesh starts to fall behind, you can really feel it for LGD. Do you remember when there was that game where Somnus played it and what did Arme play? Like, some really hard carry, and he went like blink on Somnus and everything on the Lesh because he just had to split push them up because they were playing from behind the whole time.
Yeah.
And I, although they are very good with this on LGD, I think they have also shown that it's not like 100% solid like some of the things they've done otherwise.
Yeah, and they've only lost 2 games this event so far, and one of the games that they lost was with that Leshrac that was up against eHome. It was Arc Warden, Leshrac, Beastmaster, Lena, Oracle, which sounds like, honestly, such a great lineup. If I was on that team, I'd have a lot of confidence, but they end up losing that game, so we'll see how it goes for Nothing to Say on this Leshrac. They go Earth Spirit next. We've seen so many good Earth Spirit games. I mean, this hero's reach and the ability to initiate just from such a distance and just the fact that it's a nuisance early on feels so strong. It's definitely something that Jinkyu plays well here as well. And they go Centaur, okay. I'm waiting for LGD to shock us with something that hasn't been picked in the event just yet.
Sniper. I think this Centaur has really good value though, this game. Obviously, the lane against Undying +1 isn't necessarily easy, but I think when you're trying to disengage from like this Tombstone, the Leshrac damage coming through, like you just pop that Stampede and you get out at the moment because LGD don't have great like hard catch. It's kind of like they'll have a Yules on the Lesh, they'll have like the roll on the Earth Spirit, but it's not a great way of keeping Elephant all in one place right now. I think this is going to be Core Venge, and it'll be like +3. I mean, it could be
awfully in Earth Spirit, right?
Yeah, it could. I think if it's LGD, I think they're more likely to play Core Venge because I think this is something they did last OGA, from what I remember. And that's the kind of hard lockdown that you want against a Stampede, where you bring somebody instantly back into the fight. It's not lockdown as such, but it's that kind of thing.
Just taking a look at Faith Beyond's most recent games with Venge and Earth Spirit.
I could see a +1 Venge potentially as well being cool, with like an Undying 5. That sounds fun.
So his last Earth Spirit game was 2017. And then his last Venge game, I think, was more recent, right?
Maybe it's +3 Undying, dude. So many options. They have 3 support heroes, so which one's going to be the core? Ooh.
Yeah, his last Venge game was 17 days ago.
Yeah. It's nearly like 90% of the time this is going to be Core Venge. This Pokemon pick's really cool. I like this.
We saw this yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
That just dominated against Leshrac.
And I think it was XM that played it yesterday for eHome, and he did a really good job. I think it does well against Lesh in mid. Like they both get farm. It should be okay. They don't really have great burst damage at the moment. I know it's kind of really only the Lesh. So this Pokemon should have a really good time at like sticking on people, like keeping alive and everything. It doesn't have to be mid Pokemon here. It could be 4 potentially as well. Because I think Pokemon Centaur is still a really strong lane if they decide to play it. So the Lena or the Pokemon could both get mid. I think it's more likely to be Pokemon 2. But I find it really interesting that both teams are yet to pick their carry though as well. Like that Sven gets to the last phase of bans, which is crazy to me.
Considering the way that this hero has been played the entire event, seeing it get ignored in the first game, banned in the last phase of the second game, wow. I'm not expecting that, honestly, with how much that hero's been picked up.
I really like Elephant's lineup though at the moment. I think it's much better than last game.
Yeah, and they finish off with the Terrorblade. I like the TB. We'll see what LGD go to counter this though. Gotta get that Ags on TV.
Pick. Oh, what did they go? Tell me if somebody gets picked. I'm going to go back to my hero list. Have a look.
See if you can pick something from the hero list.
Is Void's left in the pool still, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's against Pugna. Doesn't feel great. Troll doesn't look great either against the Pugna. put like less safe lane potentially and pick a different mid? What could they think of?
Do that. They give us something completely different. They
Just go sniper, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, they can do that. Nothing to say. Loves that hero. I'd be very down for the sniper. Their jump is not exactly amazing on Elephant either.
Well, they have Stampede.
Yeah, I mean, they have Stampede, but that's cooldown reliant, and are they going to be able to?
Oh, there's the sniper.
Into the backlines within. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that could be the sniper with the Dire Tide cosmetics. We don't know, but yeah, it is Arc Warden. So Arc Warden to finish it off lane Venge. Last played by Faith Beyond 17 days ago.
I wonder. I'm assuming it'll be Leshrac mid, but I don't think it has to be. Could be like Arc Warden mid as well, because up against the Pugna, they both have decent ways of like killing creeps even when they're decrypt, which is nice. Like you have the Ghost, the Spark Wraith, sorry, and you've got the Lightning Storm as well. I think it's nearly always going to be Lesh. I think you just put the Arc Warden with the Undying.
So, Faith Beyond was spamming this hero a little bit during CDA FDC. He played it 5 times during that event and won every single time with that hero.
Okay.
The build being a little bit different every time, but for the most part, it looks like he was going like double Wraith into either Lance or Pike with a Solar Crest.
You want to just be this like utility hero at the start of the game, but then you start to transition towards more of a clicker as the game goes on. I think something like Pipe has a lot of value this game, but he might want like go towards this Lotus Orb relatively early on. I think it's still a really good pickup as well against like the TB, the Pugna. But it'd be interesting to see what he does. I think Venge Earthspirit's normally a really strong lane, but with the Wave of Terror, you don't really take away any of TB's armor because he's he has it's a high armor hero. Yes, he has low HP, but he's going to be really difficult to kill, especially in the laning stage when there's an ogre sat there as well.
Yeah.
But I like Elephant's lineup as well. I think this is a nice even game. I don't think some of the other games we've seen this tournament of LGD Elephant, I feel like Elephant have been outdrafted massively, but I'm yet to see that so far this tournament. In the final, at least.
So, game 2. By the way, I didn't ask you who you thought was going to win.
I think it's pretty even. I like Elephant's lineup. I'm going to go Elephant. I'm going to be crazy.
I'm down with that. I want to see more than a 3-0. Not that
that's the thing.
Winning game 2 is indicative of that.
If it goes 1-1, you're like, this is a good start to a final. Because, it's not going to be a whitewash. You have a potential for 5 games. They both have capability of beating each other. It sets up very well for the rest of it. So.
So let's see how these lanes start out. How quickly we get the TBAgs, of course.
I love that this Undying has gone boots as well up against the Lina. Because, you see, FY doesn't normally go boots on his heroes at the moment, like these ranged pokey heroes. Unless sometimes it's Rubik, but I still think he doesn't then. So, this Undying is going to be able to chase the Lina down a lot in the laning stage.
Yeah, the 3 different builds for the Undying to start off are this one, Orb of Venom instead, and then the Ring of Protection with, 2 branches.
I'm pretty sure the Undying, when he walked through mid there, checked the vision of the ward as well. So they know where the Radiant ward is at the moment.
They just need a sentry to clean it up if they don't have it. Any lane in particular you're looking at that's going to be pretty volatile?
I think mid lane could be particularly volatile if somebody makes a rotation in, because Earth Spirit, obviously known for its roaming prowess.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm expecting both teams to have heroes move over towards mid, and Innocence getting caught. Hope stop.
Wow.
As well as the LSA coming through. The damage isn't too much, but he's just in a little bit too far where he gets caught and too far away from Ame to really help him out.
I did not expect that to happen before level 2. I think at level 1, that's pretty unexpected. Oh, the sentry sees the obs as well, but he doesn't quite catch the obs yet. Like, it's above where the sentry is that he just put down.
It's also blocking that camp.
Yeah, now he sees it and he's like, oh.
Jinku going down to Eurus. They'll take out this ward. Over bottom, it's Eurus getting that kill, and that first metamorphosis already used. So, better start right now for Elephant, although I say that, and they had a good start in the first game with their laning.
Mm-hmm. And that bot lane is really well played by Elephant, though, because they hit their level 2s first, and they instantly go for the kill. Like with the Ignite and the Fire Blast. So they went on before Jinku had level 2 himself, so he couldn't roll away.
Is there a point where, like, one of these lanes has their support kind of...
FY?
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Decay with the Soul Rip, just not enough. I was going to say, one of these lanes have the supports kind of migrate away. Kind of like what we saw in the first game with Naga Siren staying there up top, and then the support leaving that lane and leaving Naga to himself. Is there a lane that we see that in here in this game?
This game, I think it's different in the... Oh, bot lane, hang on, Eurus. Oh, the good stun from the Ogre. It stops the Venge stun coming through.
Jinku really wanted it. He's a little bit low. They throw the magic missile at a red panda. Gonna get a kill on either hero.
It's different this game, where the carry is normally the one to stay in the lane in some of the games we've seen. I think this game, the Arc Warden and the TB are likely the ones to leave to go jungle.
With the magic missile, they get the kill there on a red panda. Combination looks good, and then Innocent's getting killed at the tier 2 up in the top.
I think he just denied. It's fine. Top lane, Arc Warden.
You know, say he'll stop with the double edge. Bit of damage coming his way.
He's gonna have to buy a salve.
Yeah. I think it's being brought by the Undying.
I think the Undying's gonna use his salve though.
Yeah. And over mid, Pugnet 14-3 to the Leshrax 17-4. So nothing to say, doing a decent job up to this point.
Yeah, this mid lane's pretty even though. They're both trying to just trade farm. This Pugnet's doing it maybe a little bit worse than I expected him to, but... Ooh, Lesh gets a haste rune.
Somnus is going to be in a lot of trouble. Damage from the Nether Ward. They've got the Diabolic Edict. They'll get the kill. Avoids the LSA, but the stun comes out from Red Panda. Can they trade? Nothing to say. One more right click from FY is the finishing blow. Innocence comes over. Jinku hit with the LSA. Sorip keeps him alive. Roll out onto FY. The damage being done isn't going to be enough. Innocence has Decay if he wants to turn. He doesn't have Soul Rip, so all he can do is throw a Decay, and that would be it. And he hits it onto FY. He gets really low, but doesn't end up dying.
FY is playing really on the edge of this game. It's great to watch.
1K lead here right now from Elephant. Look at TB, 32-9, having a great time bottom.
This is the problem with the Venge lane, right? Like, they don't really pressure the TB that well because of like how much armor he has to work with. It's like this wave of Terra spam just doesn't do a huge amount. And it's great they kill the Pugna mid, but if the Lesh had survived, it would have been amazing. But like, without the Lesh living, it's a good kill still, but it's not. It doesn't feel anywhere near as good.
Throwing their bodies, looking potentially for the Leshrac with the pressure coming under the tier 1 tower.
They really want the catapult to be coming under the tower here, but they've kind of like messed up the wave a little bit.
3 heroes mid for Elephant. A lot of bodies here as Innocence, he is still level 2. Red Panda's level 4.
The 6-minute rune's about to spawn here as well, so it could be a lot of action. This Leshrac doesn't have Edict up for a few seconds.
Getting it on this rune is going to be very difficult. And it's an arcane rune. Can't really do anything with these 2 supports up on him.
They've done a really good job on Elephant, though, of securing their side lanes. So now they can just leave the cores in either side lane, and the supports are just freed up to rotate mid. And now that the LGD supports have to come over as well, like the Earth Spirit and the Undying are going to be both here soon, I'd imagine. Like, they have these favourable 1v1 matchups in the side lanes. So they're going to get further and further ahead here. Especially in this bot lane with the TB versus the Venge.
And they fight into this. Stun comes out onto Innocence. He's going to die first. They get the kill onto Somnus. The trade that they're happy to take. Faith Beyond comes over. He's level 6, ready to go into FY. The LSA hits on it 2 of these heroes, but it's not going to matter. They get the kill onto Somnus as well as FY. And maybe look over for Red Panda. They do have chase potential with Jinkyu coming in and lining up the rolling boulder. Faith Beyond still here as well. He's got the swap. Not sure he'll need it. Magic Missile. Red Panda in trouble. Make it a third. 3-0 in favor of LGD as they rotate in the offlaner of Faith Beyond.
Yeah, good rotation by Faith Beyond. But at the same time, it's like, as soon as the Lesh hits level 6, this fight's completely different. Because when you get Pulse Nova, like, everything changes, right? Like, your damage output just goes off the charts.
Dire's middle tower
Oh, Royal Jelly for the TB. Is that the TB? Hey, who picked it up? Oh, it's a Dire Jelly.
I'm surprised that was odd. That didn't say.
Yeah. I'm glad that wasn't just me that didn't get... It didn't see who it was.
Yang is level 6, so he's got that Stampede now. Oh, he's free to farm up here towards top at 66 and 12 for Terrorblade. Oh my god.
Eurus is having a really good game at the moment.
Roll in, looking for
right?
Yang. And goes to the Stampede, throws the Hoof Stomp. He'll leave. FY's come up towards top. He's also got Red Panda here, so they've got 3 heroes up in the top lane. Ame might need to be careful. His support just left him. Now the LSA hits. He's in a lot of trouble. They don't have the Laguna. Try to TP out. Slow Yang. Oh, the stun. A half-second behind.
Oh, it's like 0.1. I mean,
yeah.
That Spark Wraith slow was the real difference maker there.
Dire's top tower
And that's the fact that he lives there is huge, because like you see Lesh is taking this bot tier 2 at the same time, gets it to half HP. He's now really close to his Midas on Ame. That would have been set back a lot if that TB hadn't gone off. And this Leshrat, considering he got ran at over and over again in the mid lane at the start of the game, is doing really well.
Yeah. He's ahead of the Pugna. Ooh, Jinkyu getting caught. Hope Stomp, Life Drain on him. Somnus will suck the life right out of his soul. Look at the tier 1 tower top. But nothing to say he's pressuring bottom. See how far he's willing to push. Not a lot of mana. Not really a lot of health either.
I think he might consider going BOTs first here instead of Yules, potentially? I don't know, maybe not.
Oh, he's got the Faded Brooch.
That feels so good when you get that on Lesh. It's like the best item you can get at the start of the game. I don't know, this TB's still doing really well though. He has his Yasha already. It's like pre-10 minutes into the game. And like, if you compare FY's net worth to the Earth Spirits at the moment...
They might catch Somnus again though. Swap, Hoof Stomp. And Somnus is going to die here. They get the kill onto one. They'll look for more. Red Panda as well as Yang trying to get away, but the roll all the way across. The Boulder Smash hits onto the Ogre. Applying the Magnetize. Here comes FY, only level 5. Decay onto 3. They've got the damage coming in onto Jinkyu. He's trying to find a way out of this, or maybe just roll into Yang. Double Edge eventually finishes him off. And now, they'll look over at the rest. They've got the Laguna Blade used. They get the kill on a Faith Beyond. They'll end up losing Yang as well as FY. 3 heroes down to the side of Elephant for 2 on LGD. Take out the offlaner and the 4 for the 2, 3, and 4.
I mean, honestly, that's a great fight though for LGD. Like, this Venge, like, yeah, it's great that it's good for Elephant that the Venge dies and everything, but this hero, like you see at the moment, the Death Illusion just farms anyway. Like, it's getting space. If they're gonna have a core hero that dies on the map while the other 2 are farming, it's always gonna be the Venge. Like, Arc Warden's just farming with his Midas at the moment. Nothing to say, he's just pushing in bot lane. And he has his Yules coming out on the courier here. He's so quick now.
410 movement speed. Still, though, the TB, 1,000 gold ahead of the Shrek, and then 1,500 gold ahead of this Arc Warden, who does have the Midas now and going into the Maelstrom. So the catch-up potential is there.
I think the big thing for me this game is that Somnus. And now
Red Panda gonna follow. I think that's the big thing for me, is the fact that Somnus has died 4 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say normally this Pugna hero, it's like really good against the Arc Warden, because where most heroes can't really push against Arc Warden because they don't have that way of dealing damage to towers without doing physical damage with attacks. Pugna's completely different. So if this hero has a good start to the game, then like you would really start to feel the pressure being applied. But because of these early deaths on the Pugna, they're not as farmed on the hero as they would like it to be right now, so it's not able to offer that like same level of pressure on the map.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily the Pugna's doing badly at the moment, but it's just not doing as well as it potentially could have been.
So what does he have to do to really up that performance and give a little bit more to the team at the moment? Should he sit back more and try to find a little bit more safer farm?
No, because you want to give all the safe farm to the TB is the problem. Like, he's taken the top tier one, he's taken the mid tier one, which is the 2 most important things, right? I'd quite like to see him play top more, and like play into this top area of the map while either the Lina or like the Ogre sit bot or something and just shove in the lane against the Lesh. But the problem is, you need to be able to defend your bot tier 2 from the Lesh just running in with Edict. So it can be difficult. I can see them potentially going Roche soon as well on LGD.
Yours moving forward. Now they've got the Yules. Can they find the stun? LSA comes in. They land the splitter. If they get the kill and nothing to say immediately. Sinus gets credit for that one. Now they're going to find the silence on a lot with the Sunder coming through on a Jinx. They get the kill with the Laguna Blade. Taking out 2. Looking over at Innocence. The Tombstone next to fall. And then it should be the Undying. Life Drain on the Faith Beyond. Very good fight for Elephant. Can they cap it off with the +1? LSA lands, and they should do so. FY with the double kill. 4 heroes gone to the side of LGD. And a very quick kill onto the Leshrac is what started that off.
That Leshrac was like, oh my god, this is going to be a great fight, to, oh my god, this is an awful fight. And in the space of about quarter of a second, like, he gets the Yules up onto the TB, and he's like, oh, this is good, we can really set up for a kill here. At the same time, the LSA comes through from Lina, and then that huge burst damage comes through all at once. Lesh just dies. It's like the Nether Ward damage, all the raw magic damage they have as well.
They'll have the Maelstrom on the Arc Warden, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
And all of a sudden, where they've been keeping up okay with the TB, with the Lesh, to try and be able to deal decent amounts of damage to him, he's 2k net worth ahead at 14 minutes into the game.
And they're finding a lot of stacks that were made for the Leshrac. So all of a sudden, it's a 4k lead for the side of Elephant. This is really tough for them, and giving away a little bit more gold with that Tempest double.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They really want this mid-tier 1
Radiant structures are
on
fortified.
LGD. And it looks like they're going to get it.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Ooh.
Getting the kill on a
Dire's
Jinkyu.
top tower
Somnus.
is under attack.
Kill secure there by Somnus
Is under
with the
attack.
decrypt. He's like, no, you're not right-clicking him. This is mine.
It's about to have the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, this
He's also
level 12,
recovered pretty well.
for sure. And I think this level 12 on the Pugna is a big upgrade as well. Having the level 2 life drain. It's like a really good increase in damage, like another 50%. So, especially up against these like not particularly tanky heroes on the Dire side.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Venture's gone Pipe as well. Do you remember before you said he was going like Pipe,
Dragon
Solar
Lance,
Crests and
Manta,
whatnot?
Solar
Yeah.
Crests. Yeah.
I think the magic damage, like being able to offset some of that damage, is really important.
Dire are scanning.
Come up towards top.
Radiant are scanning.
You're just gonna try and take this tier 2 tower in the top lane. He's going for the Scotty. He's almost finished for it. He's 2,000 gold away from that. You're going Mjolnir on Ame, who almost has the Hyperstone.
Oh,
Good way to use bottom. Another blast is there. They'll finish off Innocence. Another kill for Somnus. He's now on a killing spree after starting 1 and 4.
Yeah, great trade for Elephant. LGD didn't expect that because they assumed that Elephant would be just all together grouping up this, like pushing this top tier 2. But the Lina and the Pugna come back slightly early. They find a kill, and where LGD would have liked to have pushed this tier 2 in the bot lane in trade, they now have to back off because they don't have the Undying. So great play by Elephant.
Feels like it's setting up to be a tough comeback for LGD if they were going to make it, but Elephant very much in the driver's seat of this one. TB's just so farmed up to this point. $5K lead, nothing to say. He's going into the BKB. Yule's bots, BKB. Might be ready to fight once he has that. And then Arc Warden about to have that Mjolnir.
Yeah,
So-
the Mjolnir's... I don't know, for LG it's kind of, they just need to keep extending the game, right? They're really struggling to fight into this, like, Pugna that had that really good mid-fight before. Very mobile, very difficult to deal with. And it's different from the Leshes that we've normally seen from LGD, where they start running at towers at, like, the 5-minute mark, right?
Yeah, like that 7-minute tier 1 tower into the 10-minute tier 1 tower over in the middle lane or something like that.
Yeah, and you can see how much emphasis they're putting on trying to negate this magic damage, though, of Elephant. It's like the Pugna, the Lina, the Ogre, even the Centaur as well. They're going Pipe on the Venge, they're going BKB second item on the Lesh, which is something we haven't seen a huge amount of this tournament. You know, occasionally we do, but... Oh, mid lane.
Oh god, they've already got the Undying. Little Stampede. They've killed off the Undying a couple times. Not the worst thing, but not really amazing with Innocence, just not having a game at the moment. He's max Tombstone this game, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's fine, though. That's okay. This
Well, no,
Undying,
just
though...
making note of the fact that, you know, he did max the Soul Rip first last game.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
The Eurus is so scary now, though. Like, it's not even just a normal TB, it's a TB with Bloodlust. I think they just start heading over towards the Roach Pit relatively soon. Like, look for a pick-off, get the Aegis, start chipping at high ground with the Pugna Blast. That's like their 1, 2, 3 Book of Go. That's what I'm going to name it.
It's not a full-size book either. That's like one of those small books you get somewhere. The Book of Go. Ame going Boots of Travel after finishing off this Mjolnir.
Dire are
Yeah,
scanning.
just keep splitting the map up. Don't look to fight into them right now, because you don't really deal with them very well. Keep farming. You know, hold the high ground with the Arc Warden as much as you can. I think even if they go Roche on Radiant side, I mean, Dire can come over and try and contest with like Tombstone and Lesh and everything, but it's not easy.
Radiant's bottom
Oh, that was
tower
cute by
is under
Xingqiu.
attack.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
It's like a quick in and kick on the Yang.
He precast the kick so that as soon as the Centaur blinked in, he just kicked him away straight away. That was cool.
Guardian Greaves being built for the Undying. He's not really finding a lot of farm, though, to get this done. They've got the BKB on the Lestrak, so the question is this the swing item that helps LGD back into the game? Because things are starting to get really out of control, and Elephant are playing very well up to this point. 21 minutes in, and they've headed over to Roche.
Look how farmed FY is in comparison to Xingqiu. He's so, like double his net worth, effectively.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the advantage comes from at the moment between the teams, in the the overall net worth advantage.
Your shrine has fallen to the radiant.
Yeah, so is the net worth deceiving with the, you got a 4K lead from TB to the Arc Warden and a 4K lead from the Lena to the Earth Spirit, but, Arc Warden and Leshrac are farming pretty well.
Yeah, they're doing okay, but it's just that the team's just doing better, right? And look how big this TB is with the Bloodlust and the meta. Jesus. It's like the Angel of Death.
Yeah. Could put the lamb's blood around your door, try to make sure that the Angel of Death doesn't get you. Found Somnus. They'll have the stun. They've got the roll in. They get a quick kill onto the Pugna. 3x3 going the way of Jinkyu.
Somnus didn't get the memo. I mean, the rest of Elephant are just playing down towards this bottom side of the map at the moment. Stuck around a little bit too long. It happens, but that kind of slows down the timing of that they can use this Aegis, right? But for the next 30 seconds, they can't really do a huge amount, so LGD can look to try and smoke up, potentially make something happen, or just deal with their lanes.
It's something to note, just because, you were talking about it. What they want to do is kind of slow siege a little bit on these towers with the Nether Blast.
What does Terrorblade have coming out on the courier? Ooh. Oh. This BKB Skadi makes Lesh's game absolutely horrible. He does not want... Like, Skadi as TV against this range core feels horrible for Lesh. Like, DP and Lesh, I think, are the two heroes that suffer the most from it, because they require on their mobility a little bit more than, like, other range heroes. But also, the BKB means he's not going to be able to get his damage out on the Lesh. So it's kind of like... Oh, I just need to kind of like kite out the BKB duration at this point.
They're going to try and make a move, and look at the stun. They've got the Laguna Blade. Even with the swap, they're going to go in on nothing to say. Can they get the kill? He pops the BKB. He's trying to maybe run from this one, but the damage coming up from yours. They get the kill on nothing to say. They'll look towards the rest. And the Arc Warden's Tempest Double is taken out. They've got the Life Drain to save Yang. Without the Leshrac, this is a little bit difficult. And not only that, but he already used the BKB. Rules LSA landing onto the Venge, and they'll have yet another. They also killed off Innocence. Looks like they might just finish the game right here.
Yeah, great initiation by Yang, though, onto the Leshrac. And like we said, as soon as the Skadi slow starts to apply to the Lesh, he can't get out anymore. Like, that's him just done for. He uses the Yules to try and, like, slow everything down a bit. But this is going to be 2 sets of racks. It's just so cleanly. Really well played by Elephant. The TV's just going to town.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they get out after the tier 3.
Let's get something done here.
Yeah, they need to chill out a little bit here. The Glyph slowed everything down enough. Like, you need to wait for Meta and BKB on the TB here. Like I say, he has BKB up, but no Meta yet, so...
So very quickly, a 12k lead for Elephant. And LGD, I don't really know how they elude this pressure. Or alleviate this pressure.
Alleviate. It's all the same. Mid lane.
Yang here with the magic missile. Very tanky though. We'll see if they're able to get the kill. They've got the magnetize, and now the damage with the Pulse Nova going. Ame gets that one, and they're looking to reach even further. Red Panda nearby, 4 staff back. He's spotted finally. Boulder Smash, Geomagnetic Grip. Roll coming in once again. Jinkyu is all over him. That was really impressive.
Watching Earth Spirits with good spell usage is... Oh, it feels so good.
I mean, I was really impressed with that.
What have we here?
He's getting towards his BKB as well, which is going to help. But, yeah, the Lesh is the one that I'm really worried for here. Because the Lesh is going to be the one that gets focused first every single time by the TB. Especially now he's almost got this MKB as well. Like the magnetic field from the Arc Warden, where that would have been a real good help to try and keep the help keep the Lesh alive from this like big range distance. It's not going to be quite the same now because of this MKB coming up.
And they've got the Ags on the Lena. That Laguna Blade gonna hurt that much more. Boy. Faithion going Shadowblade Axe after the pipe.
Yeah, the Shadowblade. I don't really know what the reason for this. Like, it's okay, but like it gives them a little bit of everything, which is nice. And like, obviously, the initiation is going to be really important. It helps them like you see at the moment as well. It helps them split push because where they come over like this on Elephant, it's so much more difficult to find them. It's kind of like when you go Blink in that way. But the Axe is cool. It's a little bit different.
So just gonna wait for these creeps.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, the Axe on Venge is the Nether swap, so that when you like swap yourself into the fight to swap somebody back in towards your team, like where you land on the Venge, it basically releases like a fear onto everybody. So like it pushes them all away. So this one hero that you swap out and you want to try and focus down, it makes it really difficult for the other team to like try and help them because they're all getting feared away at the same time.
Yeah, it's like the mini TBX.
The mini TBX. No, that's true. Are you gonna scream TBX if the Venge like does it?
No.
I think you will.
No,
I know how obsessed you are with it.
A little bit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But I won't do it. Promise.
Nice ward by the Ogre. Just drop city before they go high ground in the base. Now it's time to push.
Yeah. Very difficult to defend, but they've got the swap. That's out onto the center, but look at the damage coming in today. Faith Beyond. And one more right click needed to get the kill, and you've got Faith Beyond dead as well as Jinkyu. Yours just standing his ground, and not much LGD can do to defend against this. And they have farmed as much as they can, but it is still difficult for them to really do much of anything.
Where's the damage for the TB? Like, they have this Nether ward down as well on the Radiant side, so it's really hard for LGD to commit.
Has fallen.
I think if you're Elephant here, you just back off, you reset. You can go second Aegis if you really want to, and then you just start running down bot lane and do this exact same thing again. I mean, the Venge did the right thing as well. Like, the Centaur's the hero that you have to try and find first, especially before the Axe comes up, because if you don't go on the Centaur, he's just going to press Stampede and then they run away anyway. Like, you can't swap the TB in, for example. It just wouldn't work.
Well, why wouldn't that work?
Because then the Centaur just presses Stampede, and the TB presses BKB, and then TB just runs away. And then your Venge just dies for no reason.
Is there at any point where Arc Warden feels like he does enough damage to his TV?
He has MKB, so he does a decent amount, but not at the moment. You can't. I like the Hex though that Arme has queued up next, because that's the kind of play you can make then, where you precast Hex before the Venge swaps, and then the TB wouldn't be able to get BKB off, for example.
Magic Missile, Wave of Terror going into the Ogre. This is just the Ogre. Good blink. Two-man hoof stop coming through onto the bench as well as the Leshrac. Magnetize comes in with the BKB popping nothing to say. He's trying to run, pops that Essence Ring. They've done a lot of damage on Innocence and should finish him off in just a second. They get the kill and nothing to say, as well as Faith Beyond. They're taking it to third, and now things falling apart for LGD. FY, he'll fall to Jinkyu, who rolls onto the Ogre, kicks him away. Yang ends up dead to Ame. Not exactly terrible so far for LGD.
Yeah, decent fight. Considering, all things considered, how it started as well, with the Lesh just getting 100 to 0'd. But that's the best fight they could have found. Like, it was before meta was up, which is great. Like, they took them by surprise, which is great. But they still end up losing the fight overall. And now
going into Roche.
Yeah, they just go into Roche. Because, like, as soon as this TV has meta up again, they know they're, like, incredibly strong. So you can't blame LGD for taking that fight, and the best thing for them is the Arc Warden didn't die either. So Arme's getting really close to that Hex now, and it could actually be a big difference maker. I think there's a Satanic coming out for the TB. Oh god.
He has so much farm at the moment.
You just swap the treads out here for the Satanic, I think, when you go high ground, and you just go to town.
Close to this Hex. What about Leshrac? I know he wanted to build one as well, but he's moved over to the Octarine core.
Yeah, I mean, as the TB BKB gets lower and lower, the fights get slightly easier for LGD, but again, like, this TB is still just absolutely destroying the Lesh every fight at the moment.
Yeah, and his BKB is 10 seconds, so... It's going to be a long time until that BKB is
Well, the
lower.
Terrorblade BKB's 8 seconds at the moment. It says for
showing
me.
10 on my screen.
Oh, God.
Interesting.
Visual bugs. Gaben SOS, please. And we've talked about how, like, there's that... sometimes people see different armor values and all sorts at the moment. Look at Faith had nothing to say, by the way. They're waiting to try and find the Lesh at the start of the fight. Sorry, the Pugner.
Yeah, they're going to try and get Somnus. Luna Boy comes in. Somnus is surviving with the Essence Ring, but they get the kill onto the Pugna. They'll look over his Faith Beyond as well as Nothing to Say. End up dying for the kill onto the Pugna, who buys back into the fight. They'll get the buyback coming up for Nothing to Say as well as the Undying. Now Lena in some trouble on top of FY, but there's the life drain coming in from Somnus, who bought back into the fight and is now here because he's got the boots of travel to find his way back in. Jinku goes down to Eurus. And now onto the high ground they go. Mark Warden caught one more shot. They've got the life drain with the Decrepify. He'll buy back as well. He was close to that Hex. They've lost Nothing to Say for another kill here for Eurus. He's got the Ultra looking for the Rampage. Goes and looks at Innocence, takes him out. And it's a Rampage for Eurus and a GG call for LGD. So Elephant will even this series up. There's the double Rampage. And it's one apiece.
Yeah, really well. I mean, Eurus hasn't died the whole game on this TV. He kind of just did his thing the whole game, right? And this bot lane didn't really pressure him at all. You know, the Ogre gets freed up to move across the map while the TV jungles. I think the Lesh, considering how his game started, recovered quite well. But yeah, eventually gets to this point in the game where TB gets, like we saw, Manta, BKB, Scardy. And the Lesh's game is just awful. Like, it's so hard to play. And LG did exactly the right thing in that last fight at the start, where they hid and they tried to find the Pugna first, because the Pugna's the hero that you have to get. Like, the save that constantly comes out with, like, Decrep, Life Drain, etc. You're not going to kill the TB ever in the fight if the Pugna's alive. So, especially when he has the Aegis, they did the right thing, but they're so far behind by that point, it doesn't matter, because TB just wipes the floor with everybody.
Yeah, so Eurus ends up 14-0-8. 7-6-17 there for Somnus on the Pugna, who started that game 1-4. So after that point, he ends up going 6-2. He had a really good recovery.